Okay, I used to be in love with Jigglypuff as a kid. Matter of fact, I would go as far as to say I was madly in love with Jigglypuff as a kid. Now, I said used to, but honestly, I feel like it still is like such a big part of my life that I don't know if I can really say for certain if this like has actually stopped or not. Also, I mentioned in another video that I had never had a crush on anybody, and I don't know if I can even classify this as a crush because, I mean, for one, Jigglypuff isn't real, but also it's not like standard romance, dude. It's like something else entirely. But yeah, so this story goes way back to when I was just a wee lad, and I had these Pokemon cards. I shared them with my brother. We were given them as like a Christmas present one year from my grandparents, and my brother and I would play with them constantly. They were really old too, really old Pokemon cards. I think, if I recall correctly, none of them went outside of like the original 150 Pokemon that you would see on like the TV show Pokemon Indigo League. If that just gives you like a rough idea of how old these things were, I mean, I don't really know. But yeah, one of these cards though was we had a Jigglypuff Pokemon card, and that one obviously, okay, just judging by the title, judging by the intro, all right, that one was my favorite one. I loved that one. And for some reason, like, I was just so obsessed with it. And it was like crazy. The amount of time I would spend just like looking at it, looking at the little like illustration on it, and reading the move descriptions or whatever. I was obsessed with it, you know? Now, obsessed how, you might be asking? Well, at the time, I was like literally like in love with this freaking card, man. And I don't mean that in like the metaphorical sense or as like a hyperbole. I mean like I was genuinely infatuated by this card. And it got to the point where I would like constantly say that I wanted to marry Jigglypuff whenever I got older, or that I wanted to kiss her, or like whatever else. And you know, I would openly say this stuff to my parents. Like I would say this to my parents all the freaking time. Yeah, like I'm gonna marry Jigglypuff when I get older. Dude, I was so freaking nonchalant. I just said like whatever came to mind. It was crazy, man. Well, you know, whatever. Yeah, though, I'd say, like, I was actually in love with her. Like, I freaking loved this character so much. I was obsessed with Jigglypuff. And, I mean, this, like, went out of, like, this was not just, like, a thing to do with this Pokemon card. I mean, every time I played a Pokemon video game, I'd always be, like, completely and totally mesmerized by Jigglypuff whenever I came across her. And I got to the point where, like, whenever I'd see her, whenever she'd pop up on the screen, it was like a neuron just like fired off in my head that told me that I needed to catch her more than any other Pokemon in the entire game. You know, it's like normally you hear kids talk about like, oh yeah, Pikachu. Pikachu's the big one, right? Because it's like the main or it's like one of the main protagonists in the TV shows, so it's like obviously it's going to be really hip and happening with the kiddos. For me though, I was all over Jigglypuff. I was obsessed with her. I was in love with her. Oh my goodness. Oh mama. Dude, it was like every single time I saw her, it like made me feel like some kind of way. It just I felt like, oh man, I just felt so great about it. I don't know. She was just so adorable, man. Jigglypuff was just so adorable. Unmatched cuteness, bro. Cuteness level, cuteness overload. It was insane. And of course, my love for Jigglypuff was most apparent in the TV show when she was actually given a personality. Specifically, the original show, Pokemon Indigo League. That was the one I kind of grew up on. So, of course, I was very, very, very interested in how Jigglypuff appeared in that one. And to me, her personality was just so awesome. Oh my gosh. And of course, like her voice too, you know, like I just loved the sound of her voice, not just like her speaking, but like her singing especially. Like I don't know. It's kind of weird to admit this, but like when I was younger, I really, really loved the idea of being just lullabied to sleep by Jigglypuff and then waking up to the scribble marks all over my face. To me, it felt like super playful and everything. And it was like, you know, like Jigglypuff, like she's she's doing this as like a revenge thing or whatever, and she thinks that she's being all bad and tough whenever whenever she does this, but it's like it's really like pointless, and it doesn't really do anything, and it doesn't really affect the plot of the show at all. It's just kind of like this little gag, and you know, it's the thought that like she thinks that she's doing something, but she really isn't. This is like completely insignificant, and it really affects nobody in the long run. And you know, another thing was like obviously like her appearance. She was really cute, and it made me just want to like hug her and fall asleep with her in my arms as I pet like the weird little curl on her hair or whatever. And like I just like, well, dude, I was obsessed with the idea of just like snuggling with freaking Jigglypuff. And just, you know, and just like, I don't know, like, I don't even know, dude. It was amazing. One of the things that was very interesting about her as a character was that, like, whenever she got angry, she'd, like, get all puffed up or whatever, right? She'd get all, like, flustered, and I just thought that was so adorable whenever she got mad. Like, I don't know, it made me just want to hug her even more, and then, like, hold her in my arms and try to like calm her down. That was like something I really wanted to do. I wanted to just hold her and try to like cheer her up or whatever, and to try to make her stop being angry. I really liked that. I don't know why. A little bit of a weird thing right there, but you know, hey, what can you do? And it's actually really interesting because this stuff does still like leak into today as well. You know, I said at the beginning of the video, I used to be in love with Jigglypuff. I used to, alright, but it definitely still plays a massive role in how I am today. It is like freaking insane, you know? This isn't just like another like weird childhood passing phase or whatever. I mean, it is in the sense that like I don't really think I'm in love with her anymore, or if I ever even was, but like I'm still very much so like kind of infatuated by her, you know what I mean? Needless to say, Jigglypuff is still my favorite Pokemon, and I don't think that is ever going to change. It's never been different. I've never had any other Pokemon that I've ever loved as much as Jigglypuff. Pikachu, nah. Squirtle, nah. None of them, bro. I mean, come on. Dude, all of these other Pokemon, I mean, they ain't got nothing on my goat Jigglypuff, okay? And I mean, this, again, it expands far beyond just, like, Pokemon. In the context of Pokemon media. Let's say, for instance, in the video game Super Smash Bros. I mean, it's a franchise, right? I've been playing this game, I've been playing Smash Bros. Off and on since I was, like, maybe 12 or something, right? And consistently, I have mained Jigglypuff in every single Smash Bros. Game. Even the ones that she sucks in, which is like basically all of them except for like Melee, right? But I am just like so obsessed with her, to the point where if she is in a video game, you best believe that she is a target of interest, bro. It's funny because I wasn't even really thinking that when I was like playing these games too. Like, it wasn't like I was actively thinking like, oh, I'm going to play as Jigglypuff because I'm in love with her. It wasn't like that at all. It was just, I don't know, it was like the freaking Green Goblin mask like calling out to me or whatever in the character select screen. It was just like I just had to pick it, bro. I just had to. She's just irresistible. That face, bro, like, come on. And I mean, outside of like video games and TV or whatever, a big reason why I like the color pink at all is because it reminds me of Jigglypuff, believe it or not. I remember I got made fun of a lot in like middle school. I got made fun of a lot in middle school because I openly liked the color pink. There were a lot of times where I said it was my favorite color, and it was really just because it reminded me of Jigglypuff. I mean, obviously I didn't go around saying that to people, but I knew deep down, like, you know, I like pink because Jigglypuff is pink, right? And it's really funny because even today, right, this is so interesting to me, I still have that sort of like neuron blast or whatever I mentioned earlier, where whenever I see Jigglypuff out in the wild, it just provokes some sort of weird feeling in me. Like, it's like, oh, like, I know that guy. I know that person. That person, Pokemon. Don't want to get it twisted, bruh. And, like, that's always, like, really interesting to me, you know? The fact that I just can point her out. I could just see her anywhere in a crowd full of other random pink blobs, and if I recognize Jigglypuff out in there, it's like, wow, that's my goat right there, bro. So yeah, like, I mean, clearly this stuff still affects the way that I am today. You know what I mean? I'm still very, very clearly super obsessed with Jigglypuff. You know, a lot of my friends know that I'm really obsessed with Jigglypuff, even though I'm not like that open about it. I mean, I am in this video, but you know, I'm not really that open about the fact that I love Jigglypuff. It's mainly just because like people see that I play her a lot in like Smash Bros games or whatever, right? So people will give me like birthday presents or whatever that are Jigglypuff themed. Like I remember a few years ago, a friend of mine, like my best friend, gave me a Jigglypuff themed boba tea cup, which is funny because I don't drink boba tea at all. Matter of fact, whenever I got this cup, I literally just specifically used it to drink water or whatever, and I brought it with me like everywhere. I was so happy to have it because it just like, it was like another way for me to show like, I freaking love Jigglypuff, bro. As embarrassing as it is to admit that. You know, I people know that I love Jigglypuff. Probably not to the extent that I'm talking about in this video, but you know, people tend to be pretty aware of it just by knowing me as a person. But yeah, it definitely still affects me, right? I'd say that the only real difference between how I am now and how I was when I was a kid is that now I don't actively say that I'm in love with her and that I want to marry her like I did when I was a kid, but for obvious reasons. I mean, really, I mean, think about like anime fans who say that they have like a waifu or something. I mean, that's kind of freaking weird. You don't really go around saying that unless if you want to be bullied. Even so, like, that's not to say that I'm like closeted or whatever, you know what I mean? Or that I'm just trying to keep it all to myself. It's not like that. It's just that I think that when I was a kid, I was just really weird, and I don't think I understood what the concept of romance even was. It's like, I saw this character, I thought she was cute and everything. I mean, what did I understand about intimacy at the time? You know, I mean, I understood that, like, you marry someone who you really, really love. But, I mean, what even is marriage? Like, why do you even marry somebody? Other than, it's like, you want to live with them, you want to, I don't freaking know, you want to hold hands with them, you want to hug them or something? Like, what's the extent of this? Like, I mean, what's the point of really, like, marrying somebody? So, I mean, really, there's an aspect of this that's, like, I just didn't really understand what was going on. Also, I feel like I should probably preface this because I mean, there's a pretty common theme in a lot of my videos, where I talk about these sorts of weird awakenings, if you will. I don't want to call them awakenings because that's not really what they are. They're just embarrassing stories, anecdotes, weird bodily reactions I had to certain types of media or particular types of animals. More on that, you know. If you want to learn more about that, maybe you watch my other videos. I'm not going to try to bring it up again in this one. That would be awkward. Hashtag 50 Shades of Awkward. But yeah, I should probably preface the fact that I'm not sexually attracted to Jigglypuff, and I never was. I never freaking will be, okay? It's unbelievable. I feel like I have to say that. I feel like I have to clear the air on that fact because people have been leaving some interesting comments, kind of jumping to conclusions with things. And yeah, I just gotta set the record straight, all right? Honestly, I just really love Jigglypuff, bro. I love her very much, all right? Don't get it twisted, bruh. Don't get it twisted, all right? That's as deep as it goes, okay? I like her, I love her as a character, and I just think she's super cute. Okay, now, do I got a takeaway from this video? Do I got a takeaway at all? Is there any moral? Is there any sort of moraleja? Anything like that? You feel me? Shoot, man, to be honest with you, there really isn't. I just kind of felt like this was something important to share. I gotta make a video about this, bro. The people need to know. They need to know, man. This is top stuff, okay? If this doesn't get out, then my life would have amounted to nothing. But anyways, though, that's all I really got to say. I don't mean to rant or anything about this because it's kind of weird to say the very least. But yeah, so I'm gonna get going now. Bye!